Today I'm going to make a critique of Paul Krugman's article on August 1st, 2014 in reference to austerity measures. Mr. Krugman went into a variety of things. The first thing, he made a little joke about that this particular person that's speaking is what it is, a dumb person's idea of what a smart person talks like. And he made a reference that probably could be associated with today's U.S. representative from Wisconsin, Paul Ryan, the unsuccessful vice presidential candidate in 2002. And I would agree tremendously with that particular statement, because whenever I hear that gentleman speak, Representative Ryan, or almost every single time, basically what I hear is a tremendous amount of gobbledygook. It's just saying this and saying that, and it doesn't mean anything. And the reason it doesn't mean anything is because he's trying to hide the fact that he's really trying to hurt people. Now, Mr. Krugman's article didn't go completely into that, but it basically went into the fact that we have been using austerity measures in here and in the United States since 2008, 2009, where our biggest concern in terms of how we were going to allocate our economic resources for the future had to deal with our concerns about runaway inflation and the devaluing of the dollar. And that the austerity measures, which were designed to, we cut the bone of government, we free up all that money, it goes into individual hands, and whoop, voila! All of a sudden there'll be a tremendous amount of job growth, and with all of that tremendous amount of job growth, there'll be so much more taxation on the new job growth that'll pay back all of the money that we took out before from government. And guess what? That's never worked. It hasn't come remotely close to working. In the history of world economics, it has never worked. But the point of Mr. Krugman's article was that, there was a consensus in terms of the stimulus working and whether the stimulus was the right thing to do among some very, very leading economic people. And the stimulus, I don't remember what the numbers were, 35 to 2 or 25 to 1, something like that, in terms of the stimulus working, and that we should have used the stimulus to help the economy. And that there was one person who wasn't, and he seemed to be a particular favorite of people on the right, that they had their walking guru who threw out a stupid person's idea of what a smart person sounds like, and all of these, let's just say, right-leaning representatives in other countries and the United States throw all this out. This is how we have to do. We have to do things. We have to cut government. We need to open it up for the job creators. And guess what? It didn't work. It hasn't worked. It's not working now, and it never will work. And the point of his article was, when are we going to listen to now? He did even indicate, does that mean that when they have a number like that, where they vote 36 to 2, 25 to 1, that they're in consensus and they will be right? No, but it's a pretty good indicator of what it is. And his particular point of the whole article was that, we need to listen to the consensus in terms of economics, because this is what's going to help us drive the economy. And we listen to the people who we are not in agreement to at all in terms of the economic people, that this is the wrong person to be listening to. But no, we listen to this person, where the people on the far right in our country and in other countries listen to that person, listen to those persons on the right, base their policies on flawed concepts of how the economy works, and the economy has suffered. The United States, again, good job growth last 6 months, 200,000 plus. But it could be so much more. It could be so much more. And of course, the private sector now the employment by government is way, way down. We need, more teachers. We need a very, very educated country, and we're not going to get it when we're cutting back on education. And that's just one of we need to invest in many things And that's a topic for a different day. But the point is that we have all of these, let's say, Republicans who are spouting out all of this gobbledygook of how the economy should work. Even Paul Ryan was, we shouldn't have a minimum wage. It's going to hurt job creation. We have numbers for the last couple of 2 or 3 years in different areas where the minimum wage has been increased, and job growth has been greater than what it has been in other states. So, but we continue to listen to these people. We continue to think that they're infallible. We continue to think that they have the solutions, that this is a learned man, that he's the policy wonk, that we need to pay attention to, and they're wrong. They've always been wrong. And again, kudos to Mr. Krugman for pointing out that we've had consensus on what we need to do. We haven't had the political will to do what we need to do in the United States to gear this country up, to get the employment back to where it should be. Because even though we have had tremendous gains in employment, we have a long, long way to go. There's a tremendous amount of suffering out there, and we need to alleviate that. And paying attention to the consensus of what the economic theory is, instead of listening to these harebrained ideas that come out of other people, where we think that poor people don't want to work. I've worked in the projects. I've worked down there for a number of years. And you know what I saw? I saw a lot of people getting up every single day and going to work. Many of them may not have had the skills that a lot of other people have had, but they went to work. Were there some that left behind, the troublemakers? Yes, of course there were, the same as it is in every area. But I saw the vast majority of the people getting up with dignity and going to work. They may not have made a lot of money, but they were working. And, for our Republican representatives to indicate that poor people don't want to work, they just want to be on the dole, it's just a terrible, terrible way to be. And then to believing economic theory that hurts poor people the most, and we think we're helping them. Again, to me, morally, spiritually wrong.